Okay, so to do these problems, it says the length of Bobby's bike ride was recorded at various times. Calculate the slope. So the very first thing I need to do is I need to figure out what the slope is. So just so that I don't have to do decimals, I'm going to start here. So this went up 30, this went up 2. So that means, sorry, my slope is 30 over 2, which is simplified to 15. The meaning, all the meaning is that you're putting on labels. So it's 15, and didn't we do the change of y? So this is this part. So that was miles biked. And this part down, sorry, on the bottom is time in hours. So that's per hour. And that's all you do. This next one says that we already have 32 people on Instagram. Automatically, there are 32 people. That means that no matter what, we have to add 32 each time. So we have 32. Then it says, remember, per, oops, I didn't want to do it in that color, per day, that's our slope. And our slope sits next to the variable. So 2x, and then it would be y equals. So it says at 15 days. So all I'm going to do is replace my x with 15. So 32 plus 2 times 15. Y equals 32 plus 30. So y equals 62. So 62 followers. Now it said just to put the number, so we're just going to leave it at 62. Over here, it wants it at 40 days. So I replace my x with 40. When I replace x with 40, that's 80. When I add those two together, I get 112 followers. Now this says how many followers are. It wants to know how many days. Remember, x is our days. So we're replacing y. So I'm going to put in 278 equals 32 plus 2x. And we solve like we've been solving for a while. I subtract 32 from both sides. I get 246 is equal to 2x. I'm going to write it over here just because there's more room. I divide by 2 on both sides, 123. So 123 days. So in 123 days, you will have 278 followers. Write an equation. Well, we already wrote the equation. So y equals, and I'm just going to write it so that the variable is first, because that's how I like to write it. The next one says your family decides to hire a caterer for your grandma's 80th birthday party. The caterer charges a delivery fee. Look there, we've got a delivery fee and the cost per person. Your parents have $1,250 to spend for the party. So it wants to know what this ordered pair means. Well, I look over here. What does the 0 stand for? It stands for the number of guests. So for 0 guests, it will cost $150 for the delivery fee. Isn't that what it says up here? Delivery fee right here. It says that there's a delivery fee. So then it wants to know our slope. So to go from here to here, that would be 300. To go from here to here, that's 15. So 300 divided by 15, we'll get 20. What does that mean? Well, the change in y is on top, so this number right here deals with total cost. So that means it's $20, and then the bottom part deals with the number of guests. How many guests? So per guest. Okay, so after finding the thing for 42 people, how many additional people can your parents invite and still not go over the budget? Okay, so we have a total amount of money that we have. What is our equation? Our equation is y equals, it goes up by 20 per guest, and we have a delivery fee of $150. Okay, this is the total cost. That's the moolah. So I'm going to replace that with the $12.50. And I'm going to solve. So I solve. I get $1,100 equals 20x. I divide by 20 on both sides. So I get 55 guests. At 55 guests, if I add it down here at 55 guests, it's going to cost $12.50. But this says, how many additional people can your parents invite? So they knew 42 was this amount. How many additional people? So 55 minus 42. That's going to be a 3. That's a 1. 13 additional people. So this, is it a linear relationship? Guys, if it's linear, then it has a constant rate of change. That's how you tell if it's linear. If it's linear, then it has a constant rate of change. So let's go here. From here to here, we go up by 4. From here to here, we go up by 5. From here to here, we go up by 4. Here is 1, 1, 1. So 4 over 1, 5 over 1, 4 over 1. This is non-linear, not non-proportional, non-linear, because that's what the question's asking. Why? There is no constant rate of change. It doesn't go up, oops, I forgot the E, by the same thing each time. This one, it went up by 12. This one went up by 20. This one went up by 3. This one went up by 5. So 12 over 3 gets me 4. 20 over 5 gets me 4. It is linear. Why? It has a constant rate of change. It doesn't matter if it's proportional or not. It's whether or not it has a constant rate of change. Is there a slope? Is it the same thing? Okay, so the next one. Sorry about that. Okay, this just goes. Okay, let's look at this. We're finding the slope. It's already linear. The fact that it's asking you to find the slope is already linear. I don't need to do that. To go from 1 to -3, that goes down by 4. To go from -5 to -2, that goes up by 3. So the slope on this, sorry about that, is negative 4 over 3. This one, this goes up by 12. This goes up by 3. So 12 over 3 gets me 4. First things first, this is nice negative. Guys, remember, this is positive, this negative. This is a negative slope. Automatically, that is going to be a negative slope. So then I draw this. How much does it go up by? It went up by 1, 2, 3. It went over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So negative 3 over 6, which simplifies to negative 1/2. This next one, the equation is y equals mx plus b. All you have to do is look at the number that's in front of the x. That's all you have to do. So 2/5, 4. That's it. This next one, I'm going to change my colors. We subtract the y values. So negative 16 minus negative 22. I subtract my x values. Negative 12 minus negative 14. When I do that, these two negatives turn to a plus sign. These two negatives turn to a plus sign. So when I subtract that, I will get 6 on top, and on bottom I will get 2. That will come out to 3. This next one, photographer charges a sitting fee plus a charge per photo. Alicia paid $52 for 12 photos. Okay? Charge per photo. So when we talk about that, that's money per photo. So we've talked about this. This part right here goes here. So that's going to be the number of photos. This right here goes here. So this is money. So if I'm looking at this first one, it's $52. So that's the Y value for 12 photos. The next one says Jerry paid $56. So that's the Y value for 30 photos. Now you just find the slope. Remember, that when you find slope and you have 2 points, that you have to have a subtraction sign in between. So 5650 minus 52, then 30 minus 12. So when I subtract that, I'm going to get 50. I'm going to get 450, and I'm going to get on bottom, oops, sorry about that, 18. Does that look right? I think so. So I'm actually going to plug it in to make sure I did it correctly. I did. So 4.5, and we're going to divide that by 18. Now, because this is a word problem, you have to label your answers. So this comes out to 25 cents per photo. Per photo. Okay, let's look at this. This is going puff, puff, positive. So how far up does it go? How far over does it go? It went up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It went over 2 times. So 8 over 2 will get me 4. This one. I subtract my y values. 1 minus 9. I subtract my x values. 20 minus negative 4. When I do this problem, 1 minus 9 is negative 8. This turns to a plus, that is 24. The answer is going to be negative. 8 goes into both of those numbers, so negative 1/3. Okay, again, I'm going to subtract my y values. I'm going to subtract my x values. When I do that, this turns to a plus, so I get 11 over 0. If you plug that into the calculator and you get 0 as your answer, you have plugged it in incorrectly. This is undefined. You do not know what it's going to come out to yet. 11 in your calculator, if you put 11 over 0, you will get an error when you do that. Number 25. Some of you are trying to do this problem as number 25. That is not the problem. Let me get to 25. 25. Where's 25? Here's 25. Because if you had looked, it says the question on the review is different from this one. It says use the one on the review packet. Shoot. I had changed that. So if you did this one, it'll come up different than the other one. So let me do both of those. So this one, I thought I had taken this part off. Oops. Harry spends 2.5 hours baking croissants for a bake sale. He makes 90 croissants in 5 batches. Determine the number of batches per hour. Okay? So that means in my parentheses, the hour goes here. The number of batches goes here. So it says he spent 2.5 hours. And he did 5 batches. Well, some of you are like, well, I don't know. How do you do that? Well, at 0 hours, didn't he make 0 batches? So now there are 2 points. And you could understand that that's proportional. So I'm going to do 5 minus 0 over 2.5 minus 0. And that will get me 5 over 2.5. So you should have gotten 2 batches per hour. Now I'm going to give you a headache, and I'm going to go back up to the one that you were supposed to do that I didn't think you were supposed to do. Sorry about that. So if I subtract this, I'm going to come here, negative 4. Oh, I wanted to do those different colors, didn't I? Negative 4 minus 6 and 5 minus 7. That turns to a plus sign, so I would get 2 over negative 2, which gets me negative 1. Okay. This one, if I subtract these two, 8 minus negative 2, sorry, my hand, I subtract these two, negative 6 minus 2. This turns to a plus. I would get 10, and I would get negative 8. So I simplify this. 2 goes into both of those, so negative 5/4. This one, anytime you have a horizontal line, you get 0 as your slope. Okay, I'm going to give you, here we go. So you want to go to your uncle's house. You have 2 options. Option A, You drive by yourself and it costs $3 per gallon. So every gallon is $3. So it goes up by 3. So 0 times 3, 0. 7 times 3, 21. 10 times 3, 30. 15 times 3, 45. Is that proportional? Did it go through 0, 0? It did go through 0, 0. Okay, this one over here. It says option B, it will cost you $10 plus. It already told you. $10 plus $2 per gallon of gas. So 2x. So I'm going to plug this in. If I plug it in, I would get y equals 10 times 2 times 0. So that would get me 10 plus 0, which is 10. Change my color for the next one. This next one, I would get 10 plus 2 times 7, which would get me 2 plus 14, which is 24. The next one, it is 10 plus 2 times 10. 10 plus 20 equals 30. And last but not least, 10 plus 2 times 18. 10 plus 36. So this would get me 46. Is it proportional? No, it doesn't go through 0, 0. This right here does not go through 0, 0. So if it takes 6 gallons of gas to get to your uncle's house, which option would you choose? Okay. So if I did option A, that would be 3 times 6, which is 18. If I did option B, that would be 10 plus 2 times 6, y equals 10 plus 12. That would be 22. Which one's cheaper? A is cheaper. How much would you save? 22 minus 18? You would save $4. Write the equation. We actually already wrote the equation. Y equals 3x. Y equals, and I'm going to write it correctly. Now it tells you that you need to graph this. It tells you that the x's, the lowest is 0, the highest is 20. You're going to go up by ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Then the y's, oh, and I said gallons used. Okay, total cost is going up by 5s. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. And we're going to graph it. So the first one, 0, 0. Right here. The next one goes through, oh, I don't want to do 7 because that, oh, I can do 7. 721. 721 is probably, ooh, just a, oh, I didn't mean to make it that big. It's like right there. And then we have 1030. 1030. And we have 1545. So 1545. And I draw my line. Then we use a different line. And this one goes through 0, 10. So we're starting here. And we're going 724, So 724, so about there. And then we're doing 1030. And we're doing 1846. 1846. Okay. Right there. At how many gallons will it cost the same? So when are they exactly the same? It wants to know the cost. Oh, I forgot to write that cost. At 10 gallons, how many gallons, will it cost the same at 10 gallons?